Live from New York, it's Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do.
Welcome to the show. It's November 19th. We're live here in New York City, broadcasting to you the latest in wearable electronics from here and around the rest of the internet. With me is Phil, Mr. Ladiator himself. What's on today's show, Phil?
On today's show, we got a lot of amazing things, some big news. But first, Wearable Wednesday.
Zipper switches are big news.
Yeah, it is actually. That's part of the big news. If this is all you do, this is such a big deal. Okay. Component of the week.
We have a soft potentiometer to show you, debuted to you.
Actually, a doubleheader component of the week.
Yep,
Yeah.
Another component of the week is?
That's like a sport term. We were talking about the word sport. It's a sport term, a doubleheader.
Doubleheader.
They do
I thought that was two movies in a row. No, that's a double feature.
That's double feature. Not a sport.
I'm working on my sports.
We're gonna have a sports section. Maybe we'll talk about that later.
We'll have another component of the week is the goggles kit, finally here.
That's right. And questions and answers. You got questions. Becky has answers.
If you have questions during the show, you can ask them at any time now or during the show or later when the show is not live, and I will gather them up and ask them on next week's show or answer them on next week's show, making you eligible to win a prize. This week it is a Flora.
Okay. All that and more on Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Remember, they have to be wearable electronics questions. Questions about wearable electronics.
Yeah. Okay. All right. First up, let's pay some bills. The code is Flora.
Gee, I wonder why the code is Flora, Phil.
Well, I'm glad you asked. But I think we should wait till we get to the Wearable Wednesday section before we answer that question.
Okay.
I mean, we do have the product.
It is a product called Flora that we have.
That's definitely the first clue in the mystery of the discount code.
But why would it be the code is usually something timely?
Yeah, it would be timely.
Anyway,
right.
Wearable Wednesday.
Yeah, but just hang in there, folks.
So every Wednesday we post up the coolest wearable things on the blog. A couple dozen of them or so, ridiculous wearable projects from the startups of the world and the makers of the world. And right now it is gift guide season on the blog.
Yeah.
So you can find the wearables gift guide and gift guides for basically every kind of topic on the Adafruit blog between now and when we will stop being able to physically get you goods.
Yeah. This goes way back in time. The way I like to run gift guide stuff.
You basically invented the way that we do gift guides on the internet, Phil.
It's just like it's caught on. Like everybody thinks this is normal. So what we like to do is we like to have topics that no one ever covers for gift guides. So still to this day, I don't think there's a wearable electronics gift guide besides the one that's on Adafruit, and then back when you and I were at Make, we did a wearable electronics one.
Basically, it is only me ever who's doing the wearable electronics gift
But
guide.
I did one ones for biohackers.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Engadget or somebody had now that there's more commercially available wearable gadgets. I wouldn't be surprised.
So every year I try to pick different topics. Like this year, there's a gift guide for drone lovers.
Yeah.
So.
I have this problem with adding expensive drone accessories to my Amazon wish list because it's a really fun toy, and a lot of electronics for me is work. It's not a toy, so I can justify I need that thing. But these drone toys, they are toys and they are expensive, and I wish that somebody was reading that gift guide and getting me all of the delicious drone toys.
I'd like to see Make do a drone guide like they do a 3D printer guide.
Yeah. I know, because there's so many now.
And one of the things that Adafruit's probably going to do, if someone gets to it before we do next year, whatever, we're still going to do it, is just like we did our Raspberry Pi photography contest. We're going to do a video and/or photo contest with drones.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, so that's coming up. So, Anyways.
Very cool. Okay, so check out our gift guides.
And that'll be on the blog.
Yes, and they will help you pick out some gifts for your electronics-loving gifties.
Okay. So what's up on the blog this week?
Okay, so every week we post up the coolest wearable projects that you can build yourself and other people are making. This is Jessica Ullman, formerly of Parallax, who made herself this very festive Thanksgiving sweater with a hand turkey, very iconic, and then some LEDs, some red, yellow, and green LEDs.
Yeah, on Thursday, I'll be able to debut our robot turkey graphic. I really wanted a robot turkey graphic for years. So you're going to be able to see the Adafruit homepage.
There some kind of Adult Swim robot turkey. What is that?
It's a robot chicken.
Robot chicken, I'm thinking of. Yeah. Or I'm also thinking of cybernetic ghost of from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. There was the cybernetic ghost of Christmas Past was like a weird robot turkey.
Well, speaking of...
Right? It wasn't Robot Chicken? Am I getting this right? It was like some kind of...
Well, we also have the Cyber Monday... We have Cyber MOSFET. That's coming up soon, too. So...
I'm just wondering if I'm conflating what I'm conflating.
No, the world wants
cybernetic ghost of Christmas past.
The world wants cyber poultry. So, so that's coming up soon.
Yeah, nice sweater, Jessica.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is a cool post from Leslie. She met these folks, Anya and Till, in Berlin at the Wearables festival they were having there, and check out their costumes. They're called Glow White and Prince Luminous. They have LED strips in the skirt and the what are those, pantaloons, to make them light up, kind of like Leslie's Hunger Games skirt.
Yeah.
So they geeked out over the the challenges of adding flexible LED strip inside a garment, which is not necessarily the most straightforward thing to do, and creating really cool light effects. Those costumes are like your own personal flashlight.
Yeah, Berlin's a good place. I was there for the Chaos Computer Convention, and like really cool city, lots of art. If I were to choose a place to have like a tech wearable fashion center, besides of course like Italy or New York, Soho, I would say like Berlin would be one of the places. Really cool hip place, and like there's just stuff like this going on all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the big news.
Happening in town. The big news is that Flora has been reduced in price.
That's right.
From $25 to $20 or $19.95.
Yeah.
So the big news is that we used to have to program these, plug them into the computer, run a couple of scripts to test the different functions of the Flora, and now we have a standalone tester for the Floras.
And it's optimized. And so we basically got really good at very fast testing of Arduino compatible like devices. So instead of just charging the same amount and no one even knowing or caring our margins would be way higher, what we decided, let's lower the price. And so the price is lower for resellers, the price is lower for regular customers. This means you can get into wearable electronics for about $20, and that's my threshold.
Yeah.
If it's like more than $25, I'm like, oh, this thing's I'm gonna break, it's gonna fall off, or who knows.
Right, or it's precious, and and you're not willing to take chances with it. Well,
$20 is like right on the mark. So the lowest cost, highest performance, Arduino compatible in the world for $19.95.
For sure. I mean, how much is the Arduino Micro? I can't remember how much anything is. People always ask me how much stuff is, and I live in a world where
I am connected to the website. I can
I know. Anyway, it's very powerful. It's a 32U4 microcontroller, so it's more powerful than the Arduino Uno or the Pro Trinket. Like, we'll get you the USB HID functionality, and it's $20.
And so, if you want to do something really small, Gemma, you don't need all the functionality.
Right.
And if you want to kind of have all the best things about Arduino in a wearable package under $20, we can now do that. The other thing is
the packs are all
everything across the board is lower price. And this is something we always do. So we bought another pick and place, and because our manufacturing yield is so high, so every single week we have this thing called Adafruit, and we talk about our manufacturing yield. So with Flora, like it's nearly 100%. Each one of these are fully tested too. So it's not like we think we're doing a good job. Actually, every single one of them fully tested, super fast. And so we looked at it and we're like, you know what, we can get these to people for a lower price. So that's our big news. That's why it's
But don't even pay full price. You can use code Flora and get 10% off.
That's
your $5 off Flora.
Yeah, and like if you're still into like Pro Trinket and stuff like that, that's like $10. We get like I think we've really nailed down a lot of choices for people. So speaking of choices for people, you can have buttons.
You can have buttons and snaps. We've talked about snaps and Velcro before.
Yeah.
Let's talk about zippers.
Okay.
We have a video about this week's project, which is making a zipper switch.
Okay.
Here's a fun way to make your clothes more interactive. Turn a zipper into a switch for activating lights, sounds, and more using stainless steel conductive thread. You can use it with our Flora or Gemma microcontroller or with traditional PCBs like the Audio FX board or TV Be Gone. Find a metal zipper pull, not plastic. If it's painted, use some sandpaper to sand it off. Use straight stitches to bring 2 long pieces of conductive thread to the edge of the zipper. You can put 2-ply thread in the bobbin of your sewing machine. Then pick up long tails with a needle and hand stitch the rest. Build up stitches to make 2 small pads of thread. They should be close enough together that when the pull goes by, it briefly touches both pads at once. You want the knots away from the zipper, so stitch back a bit and tie off. Then seal with a dab of clear nail polish. Let it dry before cutting the thread short. At the other ends of the thread, stitch one to ground and the other to a digital input on your Flora or Gemma microcontroller. Don't forget to activate the internal pull-up resistor when you set up your Arduino sketch. It acts like a momentary switch. You can use a zipper switch in place of a push button, like in this TV Begun jacket. I stitched this a couple years ago using silver thread, and it's now tarnished. That's why we only carry stainless steel thread. It might be a little more expensive, but it'll last a whole lot longer. Many of you asked, so I'm going to try both silver jewelry tarnish remover and toothpaste to restore conductivity to this silver zipper switch. Thanks so much for watching, and subscribe to catch our live Wearable Wednesday show where we'll talk about the results. Check out the Adafruit Learning System for more conductive textile tutorials at the link in the description, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, so now we're back.
Happy zipper switching.
Yeah. Tell you why I like this video. This is one of those foundational videos that if you're doing wearable electronics, this is one of the things you should watch.
Yeah.
Before you do your project, if you're thinking about doing this, you're like, oh, that sounds like a fit for me. And then you kind of left us on a cliffhanger. I've been up all night because I haven't known the answer. So which one wins? Toothpaste or this sulfur
The
stuff?
sulfur tarnish remover definitely wins. Do you want to look at it on the
Yeah,
overhead?
so what's this exactly, this race that you did between the two?
I just tried to clean up this old zipper switch using both the, using each of the two things that I thought would work. Well, somebody in the comments previously had suggested that maybe toothpaste would help get the tarnish off of the conductive thread because it had worked for him or her on silver jewelry before.
Okay.
And I don't doubt that, you know, a nice emulsifier and micro abrasion substance like toothpaste would help remove any kind of dirt or oxidation off of any material.
The toothbrush itself just might be okay.
Right,
too. Yeah.
right. I didn't hold out hope that it was going to totally restore it to its one-time glory, because the thing about conductive thread, this kind of conductive thread that I used to use is silver-plated nylon or polyester, so it has tiny little shards of silver all over it, and the oxidation is not only on the surface of those pieces, but also in between those pieces.
So you were actually working on a project that will one day just die. No way around it.
Yeah, I mean, and it sucks, and we don't sell this anymore. I mean, Adafruit never sold silver conductive thread, but
we didn't sell the thread until we thought we could have something that
wouldn't die.
That would be great.
Yeah. So here's the two compared side by side. It's a little shiny.
I can focus it on there.
Maybe I can turn the light down a little. Yeah. Okay. So you can see this is the old one, and here's the new one. The color is just a little different. The stainless steel is a little bit darker than the silver. So this is the silver thread that I removed the tarnish from with the tarnish remover, and this pad here, see how the two pads of the zipper switch? This pad here I did not treat with tarnish remover, but only toothpaste. I kind of like toothpaste to both of them over the whole thing, but this one didn't get any tarnish remover, and look at how different in color it is from the shiny one that I removed the tarnish from with the tarnish remover.
Okay.
The problem though with this setup is that, like, I don't need to just remove the tarnish here. I need to remove the tarnish on the whole thread, and the whole thread is up inside the jacket.
Okay.
And toothpaste, as you can see here, I didn't even really try to get the toothpaste off after I was done scrubbing, just so that you would see like how it discolors. You know, there's still toothpaste on here, but and it smells minty fresh. However, if you've got stitches inside your garment, you can't abrade them with the toothbrush. So what are you gonna do? Soak the whole thing in toothpaste? I don't know. The tarnish remover, on the other hand, smells terrible. It's like made out of sulfur. It smells like all of the stinkiest dog farts you've ever smelled as soon as you open the jar. And so you're putting that substance on your garment. And if it's not black, it's definitely gonna discolor it because it's like a weird yellowish green. So I don't think that either of these are a good solution. I just wanted to share with you the results.
Yeah, it was,
The solution is use stainless steel thread, which we
sell in the Adafruit store. The only way to win is not to play this game.
Right, exactly.
Your choices are doesn't work or stinky dog farts.
Right. So, however, I did want to show you how easy it is to use a zipper switch on the TV Begun. You can just sew it onto the pads where the push button went. And I did get plenty of use out of this TV Begun jacket before the switch went bad, you know, like at least a year.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be that hard to remove it. I just have to take the thread out, and then I'm going to replace it with the stainless steel thread. See here, I tried to untarnish this one too, but the multimeter still shows like really strong resistance. So anyway, there you go. Those are your results. Your cliffhanging result is that it looks like I was sort of able to get some of the tarnish off of this conductive thread, but I can't really get it off of the whole thing. Wah wah.
Yeah. I just didn't, here's the thing about all this. I didn't care who won. I just wanted the war to end. Okay?
Okay, the war's over.
Okay, so everyone on Twitter can just calm down about this whole zipper controversy.
They're asking me questions about the silver conductive thread because lots of people have it, and it's, it's really awesome.
Okay.
There you go.
So that's solved. Next up.
Sort of solved.
Don't forget the code's Flora.
If you would like to buy some stainless steel conductive thread that doesn't tarnish,
Yeah.
or some silver conductive fabric that also does tarnish, but is fabric, not thread,
Yeah.
you can use code Flora and get 10% off.
Okay, component of the week. We got a couple things. What is
components.
this?
This is a new product. It is the soft potentiometer from Plug-and-Wear. They're an Italian textile mill that has been starting to put some metallic fibers in their knitted textiles in order to make some really cool stuff. We've got hopefully some more things coming up from them for you as well. This soft potentiometer is made out of, what is the metal content in it? It's not silver, it's stainless steel, but kind of mixed in with a regular fiber. So it functions as a variable resistor. When you put the charm, you can go to the next slide. When you put the charm on it, you have to thread it through the little hole with a needle, you can then pull the charm along, and if you have one electrode attached to the fabric and one attached to the charm, as you pull it, the resistance will change. So we thought we'd do some kind of like hoodie string project and stuff like that. If you have ideas for projects you'd like to make with the soft potentiometer, you can leave them in the comments.
And did you meet these folks when you were in Italy for the Open Hardware Summit?
Yes, I did, and they're very, very nice.
Okay, rad.
Yep.
Next up. So this is...
a second component of the week.
Yeah. I'm okay with saying that goggles are a component in a maker's toolbox. It's a component-like thing.
The component, though, no, it's not just the goggles. It's the goggle kit.
It's the goggle kit.
It's the kit to make these goggles.
Yeah.
This is Vance. He works here at Adafruit.
Yeah, Vance made the goggles that you see before him.
I mean, we just need a new segment maybe called like Kits Aplenty.
Yeah.
But now our popular goggles project, which Phil B released last year, and I did a video for earlier
also
this year.
in the very popular Trinket book.
They're also in the very popular Trinket book. They're a very popular project, so we have made a project pack so that you can buy one product and get everything you need to build these here goggly gogglies. It's a fun project. Mine are made with a Gemma, but that's because I don't know, I have a special place in my heart for the Gemma.
Students, turn to page 75 in your booklets if you're following at home.
And that's how I talk to my students. Page 75 in the Getting Started with the Adafruit Trinket book, the goggles project, and now you can get a handy dandy kit. It's out of stock right now, I'm sorry, but it will be back in stock soon. For those of you watching this video archived, it's probably in stock now.
Yeah, it became pretty popular.
It'll be in stock again before Christmas, I am confident.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, it comes with a charger, so you're not just like, how am I going to charge this thing?
Yeah, it's got everything you need, including the charger. No switch, though. If you want to add a switch, you better watch my video.
Yeah. Okay. Next, questions and answers. You got questions. Becky has an answer. What's the prize?
The prize is a Flora. Surprise, surprise. Did you get it? Surprise.
Oh, it's a surprise.
So it's not a surprise
Or
because
a
the
sure
prize has been the Flora for the last 6 months. But it's a good prize.
Yeah. I like that we got so good at making something we can lower prices. Like that's the opposite of what you expect.
Yeah, no, it's
People
really
are
good.
Like, oh, you're getting good at it. You can just keep the prices high. But I think if you can have more wearable projects, you actually get more wearable projects out in the world.
For sure.
Someone in the chat had said, I don't have any questions. I just want to share my wearable projects. And
we have a forum for that.
And you can do that through the blog, and you can do that through
on the show and tell.
Through the show and tell, you can do that. But for this part, it's all about the questions. So the first question today is:
right.
Could the two microphones be for noise cancellation? And they're referring to your teardown video that you did with Lady Ada with the Moto 360.
Yes, I do think this is very likely. So we were wondering why there was a microphone on the top and a microphone on the side, and there's all those extra digital signal processing chips on the board. I think it's very likely that there are two microphones in order to cancel out wind noise, cancel out background noise, to isolate your voice. And then we thought also maybe the extra DSP chips were, in addition to doing the noise cancellation, also compressing the signal, just because I don't think that the watch actually does the speech recognition. I think that Google does it over the net on the phone. So I think it sends the audio from your phone over to, from the watch
Via
over to
Bluetooth
the
over.
phone
Yeah,
via
sure.
Bluetooth, and then queries the internet for what you were saying, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, sure.
reacts. So it'll also do that very quickly. So that's why we thought, 2 microphones for noise cancellation and extra digital signal processing.
Okay, next up. Do you need to worry about the heat that the various lights create when you cover them with different materials to diffuse them?
Well, this is a very vague question, but in general, not so much.
I'll be specific. NeoPixels, do you have to worry about it? No?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I mean, they get a little warm, like if you put your hand on, like not too hot to touch with your finger, which means that it's not too hot to touch with your fabric. You know how we use lots of materials for heat resistance in general, like cotton for potholders and wool for... Anyway, if you... see that an LED when you're shopping like has a heat sink or has the possibility to hook up to a heat sink, then that is probably too powerful of an LED to put in a wearable project. Like our 1 watt LEDs, they probably get too hot. And also just from a safety perspective, beginners have tendencies to make mistakes, and if you have a short in a high current drawing section of like a lot of NeoPixels, that could cause heat and could set your project on fire or melt it, depending on what it's made out of.
Yeah.
So what I recommend, because you don't need to worry about catching your NeoPixel dress on fire just through proper use, but I would recommend staying away from synthetic fabrics if you're putting LEDs right up against your body. In case there's a mistake and it gets a short, I would hate for that fabric to then melt to your skin.
Yeah.
But natural fibers like cotton and wool and rayon, they all just burn and they smell like burnt hair, but they are not going to stick to your skin. So, I mean, for your question, the answer to your question is no, don't worry about it. You can use any kind of fabric to diffuse the light of your LEDs, and they're not going to get hot enough to then hurt the fabric or burn it in any way. But in general, with lots of LEDs and a lot of current draw, I would say play on the safe side and test out your circuits before they're on your person. Check to make sure you don't have any shorts, because that can get hot.
Okay. Good advice. Next up, I'm working on a blinking jacket and have come to the part where I build enclosure for the unit, but thinking about how to activate the jacket. I'm using Arduino nano-ish thing, and it powers it over a mini USB. I will use a USB battery pack, but would like the jacket to auto-sense when I'm wearing it, and when it is still to turn on the lights. Was thinking of a knock sensor, tilt sensor, but not sure if that'll work as planned since the code running some of the delays. Do you have any suggestions to auto turn it on and off? Wow, there's a lot of ways to go with this.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't describe to me exactly what your jacket is for. You just have a blinking jacket. Is it for riding your motorcycle? Is it for riding your bike? I don't know. But if you want something to turn on when you put it on, like you could use a zipper switch like today's project, or you could use this conductive Velcro.
Yeah, because it's an action that happens once, so you want...
an action that happens once when you put it on. But then again, I think it's silly to have like the circuit running all the time waiting for you to put it on. Yeah. So I would just recommend using a regular like tactile on-off switch, because when you put it on, you can remember to turn it on. And then if you want it to do things when you're staying still or moving, the fast and slow vibration sensors are great for that, for pretty low-tech sensing of movement or not movement. The accelerometers that we carry in the store also can do movement or not movement. For turn signals, on the backpack that we did, we had actually a remote control with buttons, so that you were pressing that I'm turning left. You were signaling, which is the legal thing you have to do, signal that you're about to turn. Yeah,
there's so many choices. You can do something like a bend sensor, because something will only bend maybe while you have it while you're wearing it. Like you can kind of look at every Adafruit sensor. I think we have a video about that. And
we do have a video about the fluorescensors.
I'm going to play the video. No, I'm not going to play the video now.
We don't have that video.
You should go and watch the video, and then you can figure out what other sensors, like if you're moving around stuff.
You could ask another question, Andreas, about your jacket. If you describe to me where you wear this jacket and what it flashes like.
Next up, I'm doing a wearable. I'm going to start doing wearable electronics. I'm interested in the UV sensor hat. I was wondering if I could use Trinket or Trinket Pro instead of Flora, and is the buzzer loud enough to go through the plastic?
You could use Pro Trinket with the UV sensor, but you can't use Trinket or Gemma with the UV sensor, because the library requires too much of the processor for Gemma and Trinket to deliver. Pro Trinket should be fine, as it is an Atmega 328, which is the same as the Arduino Uno, and we know that the UV sensor works fine on the Arduino Uno. And is the buzzer loud enough to go through plastic? Depends, of course, what kind of thickness of plastic. But if it's like a football helmet or something, like I would imagine if you attach it straight to the surface that it's going to actually, plastic is going to help it resonate. So I think, yeah, you're probably fine. Try it out. Send us documentation of you trying it out. We'd love to see that.
Okay. It's giveaway time, but before I give away a Flora, how do people get questions to you, Becky Stern?
Oh, you can ask them in the comments now. Wearable electronics questions are always welcome in the comments now, in the comments later when this video is archived, on Twitter, on Google+, on the comments on the Adafruit blog, on Facegram.
Yeah. One thing we discovered that during a live video, the comments don't seem to remain. So
no, we have like our live comments, like chitty chat, and then like as soon as the video goes archives, it wipes them so that it can just be like regular comments.
You know,
we save them though.
In our meeting notes, can you email the nice person from YouTube who visited and ask, did they know this? Because like they just might not have noticed. Like, who reads the comments unless you're doing the live show? Like we notice because we're doing this.
Well,
but
and the people who wrote the features noticed, but the program curators and the people who we work with, who are more high-level YouTube employees, might not notice.
And we do a live show. They're probably used to seeing the finished recorded one.
Right.
So maybe you can drop them a note. A little.
Sure.
We're doing
FYI,
a little meeting thing here.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, let's give away a.
So if you have questions about wearable electronics, you can ask them now or later today or anytime during the week, and I'll just queue them up, and then I'll put you in my drones hat, and I'll give one of you a Flora or something else. When my book comes out, it's just going to be the book for like 6 months.
That's right.
Soon. Okay.
I'm talking to Brian Jepson right now, who's the
editor. Me too. He wants to push it out. He wants to put it into production this week.
I'm talking to him right now over email.
Can you remind him that the cover is different from what we have on the... Okay, anyway, Catherine Paquin, you win. Ooh. Congratulations. So it doesn't look like you have to substitute a Pro Trinket for the Flora on your UV sensing hat because you just won a Flora.
You get a straight up Flora.
Congratulations. You can email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize. I'll also shoot you a message on YouTube, it appears. Okay. The rest of you who did not win, all you have to do, enter again, and you can enter as many times as you want, is ask a relevant question about wearable electronics.
Yeah. And if you didn't win, guess what? You still kind of won. You get 10% off everything Adafruit.
And Flora is $5 cheaper than it was yesterday.
Yeah, so this is like super sale. Super sale.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you still want more, if you want to show your projects.
Yes, tonight at 7:30, you can do that on the show and tell.
That's right.
On Google+. All you have to do is comment on the Google+ post to be added to the circle, and then you'll be invited every week. We see a lot of people comment on YouTube, like, oh, I didn't get invited this week. And it's like, you have to comment on Google+.
We have to add you to the circle. Google+ is not directly connected to YouTube comments yet. So
right, it is, but it isn't. It's confusing. So you have to comment on Google+ to be added.
Yeah.
And if you comment on YouTube that you didn't get added, I am just going to reply to you and tell you to comment on Google+.
Just go on the plus. So right now on adafruit.com, there's that graphic. Click that, go there, comment, we'll add you.
We'll add you. You can show off your project. If you have a wearables project, I would love to see that.
Yeah. Next up.
And then after show and tell is Ask an Engineer with Mrs. Lady Ada and Mr. Lady Ada.
Yep.
New products and questions and all kinds of news that is not wearables related.
And then tomorrow, big day.
Yes, and then tomorrow is 3D printing, the 3D Hangout with Matt, Noe, and Pedro at 3 p.m. on Thursdays.
Yeah, and check out our site because we have a lot of 3D printing gift guides this year.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in 3D printing, we have probably the best selection of stuff, hand-selected by everyone in Adafruit. So.
Yep.
Not a lot of.
I didn't put anything in my gift guide that I haven't touched with my own two hands.
Yeah, this is stuff that we use, and we actually like to use.
Right. And wish that we had gotten as gifts at some point. Or maybe we have gotten as gifts before. I know Lamore comes over and gives me gifts sometimes. Yeah, Becky made you a Gemma.
Yeah, sometimes you get some of the prototypes and stuff like that.
Anyway,
that's
cool stuff going on. If you are not subscribed to the Adafruit YouTube channel, that's a good thing to do. You'll be notified as soon as we publish new tutorial videos, and you'll be alerted to our live broadcasts. And we like that.
All right.
Join us next week at the same time and the same place for more wearable electronics.
That's right.
And we're doing a show next week, but there probably won't be a 3D Hangout next week, right? Because it's Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Right.
The 3D show next week. And thank you everyone out there who's picked up a Flora and helped us do cool projects with it and got the word out because it made us get really good at making wearable electronics, and now we can get them to more people at even a better price. So thank you, all the people out there who use Flora. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you next week.